I sent you all that shit. So that we can have a conversation with a bunch of black men from all different walks of life that some on a regular wouldn't cross paths. Because I feel that, especially within our community, niggas click themselves off. You understand what I'm saying? The gay community, the music community, Nallis Lee.
Wow.
Nallis Lee and Nate, who's all over the fucking place, who's part of the polyamorous community.
I don't even tell people that.
I'm everything.
You know, just out everything. Cool.
I'm not trying to out it, but it's also at our age group. It's also not something that we're like, yo, let's talk about the levels and facets and spaces of polyamory, because even some parts of it I don't get. Because even when I talk to Nate, when I call, is the camera on? Because I don't want to see no madness.
I look fab, so I'm just blocking you, so you gotta move over.
I can take it out.
No, we'll just let the door.
Let me move the camera over a little bit.
Because even when I talk to Nate,
moves and
even when I talk to Nate about his relationship, I call his girl his wife, and he's like, no, that's my primary partner, and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Language.
But that's also not things that we talk about, right?
yeah.
So,
or it is, but we don't use again those words.
Right, because I'm so.
Because yeah, right. You
use the one.
Right, because I have many wives, but only one.
Primary.
One Richie.
Right. So, but in my world,
yeah.
One is one.
One is all.
One is all.
One is all for me.
Yeah.
But I could tell somebody that, and somebody be like, nah, nigga, that shit is not my reality. I need, you know what I'm saying? I need a thing. You understand what I'm saying? So, I'm not mad at it.
A thing.
Meaning that thing, and I think on the side. And simple.
I need things, yeah.
So, number one thing that we're gonna do is, everybody, what phrase would you use to describe black men?
Black men?
Yeah.
Are we started now?
Yes.
Did the sound check? Everything's clean? Everything's good.
Okay.
Alright.
It doesn't have to be any particular order. What phrase would you use to describe black men? I kind of want you to go first, because I think you're the youngest here.
I would go with
Impressionable.
strong and perfect.
Strong and perfect. Strong and perfect, or strong imperfect?
Strong and perfect.
Okay.
Sounds like me.
Nallis.
A phrase that describes black men.
Mm-hmm.
That is a loaded.
That's what we're here for.
I think I wouldn't say it's the complete, but one of, I think, misunderstood. That comes to mind.
I fuck with that. Even though that wasn't a phrase, I fuck with that.
Yeah.
Black men are misunderstood.
Yeah.
To help out.
I'm just saying, I took it.
I got you.
Nate.
Black men are profound.
That's deep.
I felt that.
I felt that too. Travoy. And I really want your phrase, because you're like the fucking. You are like the fucking.
In this very moment, I feel conditioned with what I'm about to say, but at the same time, I know that we all hold true to it. Black men ain't shit.
Black men ain't shit.
Yeah, and I mean that in like the most positive way and the most negative way, and that's why I feel conditioned. I feel like, oh my god, I can't believe I'm about to say this, but at the same time, I'm just like, no shit, we about that life. Like, unlike every other race and all the things, like black men, we fuck with each other and we fuck shit up the way we fuck shit up. Like we're the ones that were like, you have like other races and they'll stay with the same person and faithful and loyalty and all that shit. And black men, we ain't about that life all the time. We ain't about that shit all the time. So we are the ones that literally ain't about shit, but that's because we stand for what we stand for. And that isn't that we don't stand for being about shit, but like we fuck with what we fuck with, how we fuck with it.
The reason why I think
you know what I mean, like
the reason why I'm super like involved with what you said was because you're like you're not in the hetero community. So what makes me say that shit is like, are we not shit on every side, just all of us, period?
But I think that we've been villainized, like that term has been villainized.
Yeah,
and that's why I said like I feel conditioned. I feel like fuck, we ain't shit. But I'm like, we don't gotta be like shit, like we are the shit. Like everybody's trying to be us. Everyone wants to do what we're doing. We're the ones that are at the forefront of so many things.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, it's fine that we ain't shit. Like if this is what ain't shit is about, bitch, you want to be, you ain't trying to be shit. That's there.
How much would you say that toxic masculinity has to do with it?
Different conversation. That is loaded.
That's heavily loaded. And what do you mean?
We're
Like
gonna
has
talk
to do with
about-
has to do with what? His
With-
statement
with-
or with
yeah.
what everything?
Yeah, with
everything he
us
said.
not being shit.
I don't know. Like he said, ain't shit doesn't necessarily mean that we're trash. If you get what I'm saying, right? Because when you realize you ain't shit, is when you realize that you can do whatever you want.
What the fuck you want to
You
do?
do what you want, when you want, how you want, and sometimes it comes off as negative, but it also comes off as positive. It also comes off as breaking.
Right.
It also comes off as pioneering. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like to you I'm nothing, and you look at me as nothing, and you paint your picture of what I'm supposed to be, which is nothing. So if I'm nothing, I can only go up. So why not do stuff? Why not build in a lane that's never been for me or never been seen by anyone else? Why not just go out there and get it done? So it's like I see both sides of that ain't shit comment. You know what I mean?
I honestly never even thought about it like that.
Yeah.
Which is the fucking crazy thing, because I thought niggas ain't shit was a one-sided thing. You know what I'm saying? Once you ain't shit, that's just done for you. And that's maybe because of conditioning. Because, you know what I'm saying? We, like, a lot of the times we hear niggas ain't shit from women. We hear from parents, and I make it to nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then we hear from society. And then you're just like, okay, well,
we're villainized.
Hey, I'm not even gonna lie. There's multiple times when I go on the road and then people compliment me, like, they'd be like, yo, like, look at this guy, big boss, da 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 da. And then I'm so accustomed to saying, like, I ain't shit, man, don't worry about it.
Right,
yeah, me too.
You know what I'm saying? I tried that guy. You gassing me up, man. I ain't shit.
It's humility, you know. Let me stay grounded.
I believe you.
I'm like, what?
Not what?
That's just me, like, that's just how I use that term. You know what I'm saying? In certain conversations and whatnot.
So here's a question. Now that we're talking about toxic masculinity, this is something I want to ask everybody.
Yeah.
Within our community,
Meaning black?
but yeah, that's black men. That's
Okay, cool.
That's, you see, like
You opened the
my fault.
You opened the
Right, I gotta respect this shit.
So I'm like,
I gotta respect
which
this shit.
community are we talking about
Okay,
right
my
now?
fault.
Yeah.
My fault, because I remember you're in a different community. My
I'm
fault.
like, what community?
You're right. A community of black men. How do we combat toxic masculinity? This is something I want to hear from everybody.
For me, it's just communication. And that's both on the education part of communication, and let's talk about this, but it's also on the understanding of how people communicate. So if I've read something in a book and I can compare that reading with 3 other different sources of resource, and that's how I can say, oh shoot, my behavior is toxic, I need to change. That doesn't mean because I can do it that way that you have to be able to do it that way. You get what I'm saying? Or that you can, right? Like, right. You may not have that ability. You don't learn in that aspect. So me bringing it to you, like, yo, go read this book. What's wrong? You're so ignorant. That's not necessarily going to that's toxic in itself, right? So the communication about having those conversations about what it is, because the same way we can see racial profiling so easy and we can recognize it so easy, right? Because it happens to us on a daily. So the same way when my white boy is like, nah, yo, that didn't happen, yo, you're overreacting.
So you're saying you have white friends?
Of course I have white friends. You have to have white friends.
I don't.
You have to have white friends. We'll get into that after. But if my white boy is saying, yo, that doesn't make no sense,
right?
And I at that moment am in the right headspace to explain to him how that made sense and reach him where he is.
Right.
He's not gonna see it because it doesn't affect him until he's been explained and he understands, okay, that could make sense, and then is in the situation with me and is like,
and even then,
I felt it, and even then it's not right.
Yeah.
So you just feel
bringing
like
that back
in depth.
Yeah. So bringing that back to us now, as men, there's a lot, especially black men. There's a lot that we don't feel. We don't feel it when women are telling us, yo, this is what you're doing. This is how you're acting. You're like, nah, yo, this is not it. Like, you know what I mean? I didn't mean for that. That was my intention. Like, you get what I'm saying? So it's like, it's the same way because we have that privilege, you know, we have that invisible backpack on.
Yeah.
We don't always see it. So it needs to be in conversation. It needs to be addressed in a way that it's like, oh shoot, I can point that out now.
Yeah.
Right? It's like learning something new at school. It's like you learn
curriculum.
Right. Right. Literally. It's like in certain things, I believe as black men, we do keep like a subtle curriculum. Like, you know what I mean? Like me and you, definitely. The nod is that's
the nod. Get home safe.
Yeah. But even just the love aspect, you just like me have an intention with our friends that we have to say I love you.
Yeah.
We've been friends since from day one. I said it, but my parents drilled into my little kid head that, yo, you're a black boy and the world's gonna hate you. So when you find the people you love, let them know you love them and let them know it's okay to say I love. And he'll tell you, everybody around me, I hug, I love, and I tell you I love you. I'll even kiss you on the cheek or the forehead. I want you to know that we're men, but I love you, and my heart is.
It's so funny because it's funny how Trav is behind the camera.
Yeah.
Because I tell Trav, I love him all the time.
Yeah.
All the time, and it's so funny because he doesn't. You can tell this nigga he's a nigga, so he doesn't even know how to say I love you.
Yeah.
So he'd be like, yo, you already know.
No.
Like,
Yeah.
Tell me, like, you know what I'm saying?
Say no more.
Say his shoes though, okay.
Yo, you already know, fam. You already know. I'm like, nah, my nigga, like, tell me you love me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Say it. You know what I'm saying? But just to show you how crazy it is, it's the same thing with him.
Yep.
Because when I tell him I love him, he doesn't even know how to say. He doesn't even know. He's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, duh. Like,
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, it's weird because I'm like, my nigga, like, I'm expecting it from you. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's why I'm asking, like.
But that's what pulls it back. So the same way we have that subtle intention to let our friends know it and make it normalize it. It's the same thing with toxic masculinity.
So how would you say we combat toxic masculinity?
I don't know about.
No, that's a good answer.
Yeah, like I love that.
I go with that. So to be honest.
Yeah, I love that. But I guess maybe to piggyback off of that, and maybe even combat that. Toxic masculinity in itself, like part of me feels like it's like there's a whole whiteness part of it that we overlook.
Yeah, that's true.
We talk about toxic masculinity, and it usually is in reference to black men or black boys. In particular, so you're saying it doesn't start.
Yeah, of course. It starts from like, down here.
I do understand the toxic masculinity, and I will acknowledge that it is a real thing. Like us men, again, we ain't shit about that life. But like it's usually whenever you talk about toxic masculinity, there's a whiteness to it. It's like a respectability politics type of thing. It's like, oh well, boys can't just be boys, especially black boys. And like men just can't be men, especially black men. And it's like they want, like we have to look a certain way or we have to act a certain way. And that in itself is problematic because I'm just like, why can't we just whatever? Like why can't we be free? Just be ourselves. Which is why with you being Mr. I love you and show affection, even when you said it, it's like, so but why does our love have to look like hugs and kisses? Right. That's the first thing. Like, why can't we just we know, nod, You know what I'm saying? Like, it's that thing. So toxic masculinity, like,
No,
in response to the specific question, like, like that's my critique on, on that.
On
I do know
your pushback.
Yeah, but I know that it exists because we live in a society where women are erased.
Yeah.
Black women are disrespected.
Hold on, wait, hold on. Stop right there. Stop.
Actually, pause it. And let me correct
no,
that.
Actually,
not
finish,
even, yeah,
finish
not
what
even,
you're saying.
yeah, I can stop it. Not even women.
So go there.
Femininity is disrespected and erased. Women just take the brunt force of that.
Hold on, this conversation got serious. I got to put this key on the table.
women take the brunt force of that, especially black women. But like femininity in itself is what is actually like attacked and under attack because of toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
were you done?
yeah. So in order to combat that, it's hard because again, everything that is not masculine is therefore feminine, therefore erased, and therefore not respected, therefore disrespected, therefore
Absolutely.
you know.
You good ass answer.
This guy.
You're not gonna do it. You're not doing that.
That's a really good answer. But keeping up with what you're saying,
yeah, I hit you with that.
Dude.
We didn't answer the question.
yeah, no, he said he was gonna go.
Yeah.
Obviously, Nate Nelson Mandela the fucking answer. Which is cool.
One name. I'm not.
Yeah.
I got you.
Malcolm X.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Don't let me see it on a flyer because I'm in charge. So what I was gonna say is, okay, I know. With the black women, are black men more in love? Are black men in love with black women, or are they just in love with black women's sex?
That's
Features?
No.
No, it's a very
Front, vagina.
very specific question. Yeah.
This is.
No,
Go ahead.
Oh, you said you don't know the answer?
I don't know the answer.
Okay, that's fair.
How do you interpret the question? Or what did you understand? Like,
The question was, do black men love black women
yes,
Or just the front?
or just their front?
basically.
I can't speak for all black men.
No, you cannot.
For myself, I love women. The black women, they are, because they're strong, you know what I'm saying? They're independent and all that stuff. The front's good, yes, of course, that's an add-on. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't answer that for any other.
Do you know? And like, the first thing you said was, "I love women." You literally removed the word black.
I said black.
No, that's not what happened.
I know you said it, but that's like, again, go back to what I said before. Like, there's that piece. Like, we know we're talking about women. We established that we're talking about women. But you literally said, "I love women." In general. But we weren't generally speaking. We were literally speaking about black women and their fronts.
And I corrected
And the
myself and I
fronts.
said, yes, I love black women, and I explained as to why.
No, but I think what he's getting at was the fact that it was so easy to erase.
You had to correct yourself. Like you didn't have to, but like,
Yeah.
And that's what I'm getting
and
at.
that's
Yeah.
the question. Like, that's the.
And I like to hear everybody's opinions and feelings. And ain't no condemnation and there's no judgment.
Indeed.
But what I'm saying is, isn't it crazy how valid the question is?
Yeah. Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we're at a point where we have to like literally ask ourselves, like, what is it we're in love with?
I don't, but yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Because even sometimes, even right now in my relationship, I have to remember that I'm dealing with a black woman.
Okay, I was saying what?
I gotta remember that everything isn't on my timing. The other day I was having a conversation, yesterday, I was having a conversation with a client, and she was talking about music video, and she was like, oh, my hair costs a certain amount of money, and my makeup costs a certain amount of money, and she's like, you're not gonna tell me how much it costs, and I was like, I would never. That doesn't even make any sense.
I might not be able to afford it.
I might not be able to afford,
But I'm not gonna tell you.
but one thing I'm not gonna do is try to inch myself into that part of your life, because I know black women are specific about how they want certain things, about how they want.
And black men.
Of course.
and that, yeah,
Of course.
black men.
Of course. So back to my question, Nallis, what do you feel? Do you think black men love black women? Or do they just love the sex?
Do you think you?
Okay.
I say this first.
There's no question. I feel like I love black women. I came from a black woman. And then
Just talk up, man. Say it with chest, bro.
This nigga's cool on camera.
Yo, his chest is cool.
You really know D'Angelo video,
This
nigga?
nigga's like rubbing ice cubes all over his chest, like.
You really know D'Angelo video, nigga? What's wrong with you, cool guy? This ain't no poetry slam, nigga.
I'm taking your whole thing, I swear.
no, I'll repeat myself. I love black women. I came from a black woman.
Right.
I think where the question gets lost in context is where it concerns love. I think that's where we get lost, because what is love? Everyone has a different interpretation of what love is and what it looks like, especially in our community, you know. And that goes down to, whenever we digress, to the boys. What were they exposed to? What were their filters? How were they raised? Those are all questions. But I don't see how there could, you know, how it's debatable. It's just,
Sorry, go ahead, Tweet.
You had said that you don't, that you love, there's no question that you're a black woman, essentially, like just a while ago when we were, what?
You gotta speak up, Tweet.
Sorry, how is it, or what is it that, like, you can firmly say that this is what I'm doing and this is proof, or it showcases, like, what is it that you're, that made you, what made you so, I'm not doing that.
That's a real question. That's a real question. So, growing up, right, my family, we moved a lot. And we'd always move from, like, urban to rural. Urban to rural. He's been there for, like, 20 of the moves, so he knows. And when I was younger, I can't even say that, but a lot of people find attractive what's around them.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're exposed to it so much, even if you don't.
You gotta touch it. You gotta go see
You see what I'm saying? And like, even if you don't,
you gotta
like,
put your hand on it.
but even if at first you don't think that she's pretty in grade 3 and you're with her every day, she's your friend, you're kicking it, and then all of a
It's
sudden
gonna get attractive.
feelings happen. Right.
Come on, Love Jones.
So watch this now. Like around grade
This guy said Love Jones.
around grade 7 or 8, I started to realize that even the girls I did like, even the ones I dated or called my girlfriend that were of a different culture, everything that was attractive about them related to my black women. Right? So, as I became a teenager and stuff, and it's like, I can't even remember my last girlfriend that was white. I think it was like grade 9 or 10, and it was just like, I would go through, like, I was kind of reflective. I wasn't as reflective as I am now, but I was kind of reflective because of how my mother raised me. And it's like, there's one girl I was dating, I didn't like her lips.
And she was black.
No, she
No,
was
this is
white.
like last white girl.
Right? And it was like, I
heard you.
Yeah.
I didn't, we would have issues because I'm a very blunt person. So I was like, oh, we gotta work on your kissing.
Insert toxic masculinity.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
I can check that.
I was about to say some bullshit, but I didn't want to be
No, but it's fact.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
fact.
I'm
And
with
it's
you
like-
right there.
And it's like, I realized that little things I did, like I remember even telling my girlfriend that, you know, like you know when you're kids and you have dreams of stuff, and it's like, you know, this is not gonna last. Like I couldn't marry you and bring you to my family. Like I couldn't do that in all good
So you
conscience.
fetishized her.
So let me hold on.
It wasn't even fetishized. It was more so when you're at that age,
let me ask you
you
this.
think you have to have a girlfriend, and it's like you're the closest person I would.
Yeah, date.
So was
A
it
girlfriend.
Right.
Okay, but you just said something, and I just want to ask: was this more about you, or was this more about your family and like your upbringing?
It was all like you didn't even get to me, my mom.
No,
This is
my
toxic
mom.
masculinity.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this
absolutely.
is toxic masculinity.
My
right
mom
here.
was always very accepting and always very wise.
Of course.
And my family was too. So
Of course.
and we have interracial marriages in our family.
Of
So it
course.
was never a situation where they'd be like, oh,
Don't bring the white home.
don't bring the white. No, that was never. And my household was an open house. So everybody was loved.
Right.
I have siblings that are my foster sisters and brothers that are whiter and white and have always been white and love them as my siblings. Like, you know what I mean? So it was never that issue. It was just in my mind, it's like that doesn't seem natural. That can't be it. And for some
So
reason with you,
the root of blackness is deep.
yes.
For you. Yeah.
And for some reason with you, there's always an expiration date. And then when I started like intentionally dating, you know, you get to like your teenage years and early 20s, and it was just like I started to like have so much more of an appreciation and an empathy for what was me, for everything that was me. Almost to the point where like I had a disdain for what was not me. Like, you know what I mean? And it was just like it got to the point where I couldn't even there's a lot of times I couldn't even catch on to I couldn't even catch on to what flirting was from people that I was not attracted
Attracted to.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I couldn't get it. And then that's when I realized, yo, this is deep in me. Like I need another thing too. Again, toxic masculinity.
Context.
Me and two of my boys in high school, we had this thing called NWA, and it was no weaves allowed. And let me tell you about this.
The
okay?
nerve.
The nerve of
You
this.
see what I'm talking about?
But watch this.
That's what we're talking about.
But watch this, though,
The
bro.
black women thing.
Watch this.
Disrespect.
The
Right?
disrespect.
But watch this.
You see what I'm saying?
But let
You
me
thinking you have the heart.
let me tell you what's so much more dangerous. Let me tell you what's more
What
dangerous.
she could wear.
Dog, let me tell you what's even more dangerous than that. I thought I was doing something good.
Yeah,
Because
but-
in my mind, I thought there's no protective style enough to like, none of you young girls even know what that is. You just know that you want to look like
good.
this. And because I have dear sisters and I understood their struggle, I thought I was doing something
But
good.
hold on, let me get deep. I'm gonna get deep. I would never. I would have never dated a bald girl. Ever.
And then you fell in love with one.
Yo, but bald girls are so sexy. And when I say bald girls, I only know.
never.
I only speak about.
Yes, nigga. Listen, I would have never in my life
He's telling the truth.
thought that the woman that I would want to marry is a bald woman.
Yeah.
You know.
He's telling the truth, ladies. Studio
You know better
audience.
than anybody.
Studio audience.
She's been there for
he's
like
telling the
all of
truth.
them. This guy said studio audience. But it's just crazy, again, to show how us as men are so.
Ain't shit.
Yeah.
Just say it.
Conditioned,
Like,
yeah.
we ain't shit.
So okay, let's hop. Cause this we can go up forever for this.
Pause it. Pause the masculinity. How do you feel about it? Come on, Mr. Keith Sweat. Come on. Here's where that smoothness.
This nigga's like a bass player.
I'm
in
not
the
a
fucking-
Or the drummer.
No, the bass player always looks this cool.
Right.
I feel like I'm a tag. I'm just gonna add on what Nate said. I feel like what comes to mind is like each one teach one. You know, I feel like if I want to tackle toxic black masculinity, then
Hold on.
Do it now.
wow, okay.
Yeah, you ate that.
Right, and I feel like if I want to tackle that, I feel love is the key. You know? If I see my brother and he's not doing something that is of his, should be of his character, then I gotta check him with love. It's not And then what's important too is, to add on to Nate again, is communication. But it's delivery. It's how you say it. You know, at the end of the day, iron sharpens iron. You know.
Another, sorry, just a
No, go ahead, Jim.
another thing too is to understand, like, the hierarchy that is our society and understand the privilege that we have, which is weird. I remember, I'm a social service worker. I'm a social worker, but in my social service worker class in Humber, a lot of people were like, there's an argument around the black man and them having privilege. And I remember that because it's like, right,
And we have
right,
a lot.
but like a lot of us focus so much on what we don't have. You know what I mean? That you forget that like it's middle-aged, Anglo-Saxon, white, male.
First.
That's first, and everything comes. If
Like
you
that
fall in
sound like
any one
three.
of those,
That sounds like 3, but that was like literally
that was the
first.
one.
Yeah,
So
that's
if you
the
fall
one.
in any one of those, that means you have more privilege than anything that's opposite of that. So we fall in male. So as much as, even if you just look at in our own community, there's a privilege that we have. Even their fear of us is still a little bit of a privilege. Because when you look at our women, they're not afraid of them, and they think they get to say stuff to them and think they get to do stuff.
Facts.
Opposed to with men, it's like they think twice before they see a beard, and they think twice before they say certain stuff to me. I can still walk around and
live.
right?
Period.
And as much as I don't feel safe of certain authority,
Of course.
I can still feel safe about the regular person. I can still feel safe that if the regular person thought to say something to me, I just have to, you know what you say? And it's over. Oh my, no, you know, that's a privilege. So because I can understand that I have a privilege, right from there, then that means there's a societal hierarchy that I'm a part of that still oppresses other people. So if I can understand that, then that's why it's easier, I guess, to understand, hey, toxic masculinity is a real thing.
Real thing.
It's a real thing. And then, like you're doing here, surrounding yourself with not just people, but people that are
Different.
Different.
'Cause this-
Because when you can pull from difference, and that's one thing I learned from moving so much, like,
So many different energies,
bruh,
opinions,
so many
feelings.
right.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, you always say, oh, this guy's the most giving, the coolest. It's just I've learned that there's so much out there that I can be sitting here with people who look exactly like me, but because they come from totally different backgrounds, we have a different opinion of what this bottle looks like.
Fact.
And we're all correct because we all see different perspectives.
Different angles.
It's different angles.
And there's,
Right.
there's nobody's wrong.
No, we're all
Right.
right, but we still have to check ourselves with how we approach
Yeah.